In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still at. You're still back.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Krause. But before we begin, if you guys can please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. And go check out HaveYouSeenItPodcast.com. You guys can find all our information there, like our Patreon page. What? Exclusive content on that page each and every week. So go check that out. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing today?
Oh, this is our third installment of the Fear Street franchise.
Yes.
I am loving it. Could not be happier where this series went and how they concluded with it.
And how impressive for, of all places, Netflix to be hosting this.
Oh my God, they're geniuses for this. I mean, I don't want to give them too much credit,
Right,
because Netflix.
it was, yeah.
I mean, but they clearly put a lot of money into this.
Yeah.
When we talk about the music selection, but they're not fucking around. The CGI looks phenomenal. All the practical effects look good. And they're in it's all probably all, well, they probably shot on some on location, but those set pieces too of the underground tunnels. I love
great.
This series. I couldn't be happier.
And the writing for all three of these films was really well done. They even had some twists and turns that we'll talk more about in 1666. But I was, overall, after seeing all three films and kind of tying in 1994 to 1666 and 1978, I am very, very satisfied, very impressed with this trilogy.
I couldn't be happier. Yeah, they brought it. They ended up bringing it full circle, even to where the last 20 minutes you're thinking, oh, all right, cool. It kind of explains it. I get it. And all the questions we were kind of explaining, are they gonna go back into her? Yes, they go back into her full fucking story in this one.
And it works too.
Oh,
There's
it
so
works.
much that worked for me in this, and all my questions that I had, which I think was my hesitancy for 1994 after seeing the first film, is I was like, are they ever going to come back? Are they going to answer these questions?
Oh, they
did.
They do, absolutely. And
the twist too was really nice. I really enjoyed that.
Well, you got to give credit to Leigh Janiak, the director of this.
Yes. All three of them.
Oh my, and she did some of the screenplay as well. She did fucking phenomenal, man. And she apparently wants to do, which I'll tease, I might do it for a movie news on our Patreon.
Okay.
But she wants to expand into a Marvel-esque
Fear
Street
Street
universe.
Wow, I wonder if they'll get R.L. Stein to sign off on that.
That's what we'll get into this part. We're getting into that a little more when we do more of the review, but the part where they're having sex in the woods, I can't imagine was in an R.L. Stein. I can't imagine he wrote that part.
Absolutely not.
They get fucking high on these berries, then she totally fucking goes down on her. He's like, I can't imagine.
That's his verbatim.
Some 12-year-olds read this.
He's like,
I'd rather not. Yeah, I can't imagine he wrote that.
There's
part.
definitely some liberties going on here.
But that's what I love about this show is it's a fucking hard R, and you do not. Again, I can't. I talk about that every time, but I'm so shocked at what they're willing to do, especially with, again, the killing of the children. You don't see enough.
No, you don't.
But that scene when they go into the church and they all got their fucking eyes out, and the pastor's up there preaching, it's horrifying.
It is horrifying. Very intense, too, because you just see him tapping.
Yeah.
Just tapping.
With the little hook that
What
he hooked
the
everyone's
fuck?
eyes out.
Yeah. You see a pile of eyeballs in the church. We're going to jump around a little bit on this one, but wow.
Yeah. But my main worry was, will they be able to do 1666 well enough? To my mind, the bar is set at The Witch, obviously.
For sure.
So I was concerned. We were kind of talking about the music, with how the soundtrack's going to be. And by the way, I loved the 1666 soundtrack. It wasn't, heavy metal or anything like we were kind of teasing, but I thought it was perfect for the period. It was really well done and suspenseful.
I think all original music too. I got to try to find the music. They don't have it on this, but I think it was all written by two people. I forget their name. Music by Marco Beltrami and Anna Dubrich.
Very well done.
Yes.
This, even though there was no words or any, there were no songs, I learned this. I loved the 1666 soundtrack. It might have, or the score, I should say. It might have been my favorite score of the three, but I was concerned of how they're going to do it. And because when you do the 1600s, you got to do it fucking disgusting. But they set the bar high because you always got to intro the 1600s with an animal giving birth.
You do.
You have to, and it has to be absolutely disgusting. Right. And always there's some kind of problem.
Oh, of course. They never just just have a good birth. Everything goes right. No, of course, something's going wrong.
It's so shitty. There's no science or anything. So that's all it is. It's stick your hand in there, figure it out.
Right. Let me cut it open a little bit more.
That's all it is. But they set the bar for the 1600s fucking perfect. Everyone was covered in shit. I could smell it through the TV screen. It was well done in that sense.
Right.
It looked horrible because I hate the 1600s. I hate any time before this.
Oh, the 14th century all the way up to the 17th century. Kill me.
I was in the 1100s, maybe all the way up to all the way up to the 19th century. I'd say. Right. I mean, it's so shitty, dude. But they did it really well. And just how they pulled off the the group mob mentality of once. What's the kid's name? It was. Oh, another thing, we gotta talk about this, was the casting. At first, I was like, are all the kids gonna be playing the people back in 1600s? Because for 1666, it's the cast of all of them. At first, I thought it was gonna be only the girl and her brother, but then I was hesitant at first, but then it warmed on me. Because they brought everyone back. I didn't think they were going to bring back people from the 1978 one either.
Yeah, they brought those people back, too.
They brought everyone back, so it worked really well. But the kid who stole the show was the bully from 1994. The kid who was going around telling everyone she's a witch right at the start.
Oh, yeah.
He fucking did awesome.
Yeah.
I was continuously surprised by how well these kids did.
Tommy Slater did a really good job, too, of playing like the drunk, crazed man who was always spying on people.
Oh yeah, that's who I meant.
Oh, okay. That's who I meant. 78. Tommy Slater.
That's who I meant. Yeah. Tommy Slater. He fucking stole the show.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He did a really good job. Yeah, he was just a piece of shit, and he was dirtier than anyone, physically too. But yeah, I thought he did a really fucking good job. They did a really good job of explaining all of it, the tunnels and everything.
Yeah, and I thought for the time period piece too, because you look back into this time period. Obviously, Salem witch trials is the most notorious, but that is how it was back then. This mob mentality where it's one person claims that someone is a witch and you don't even need any evidence.
Oh,
because, did you notice that trend in the church? One person, which was Tommy Slater, which I forget his character's name in this, but he goes, oh, I saw those two making love. And then everyone in the church lied and said that they saw them making love. Oh, yeah.
It's stupidity spreads like a disease.
Yes.
That's very true. It's truer today than ever. But it spreads like a fucking disease, and then they did a good job of showing you that there too. And just hysterics spread too. It's mob mentality, If you think the group is at risk, then everyone's gonna fucking throw that person under the bus, and they do too. Yeah, I love that scene when they're going through, and he's like, "I saw him," and he just makes some shit up. Or whatever.
And they all make up lies.
He made up that she was riding the devil. Yeah, remember? And he was like, it was so funny because the guy was like, "What proof do you have?" And the guy was like, "I got fucking proof."
I saw her.
Zero proof.
Yeah, if that holds up in the court of law in 1666, we're all fucked.
Has anyone else ever seen someone riding a horned demon? Has anyone ever?
Never.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even know what.
Why
it
are we not
like.
asking more questions about that? That guy seems like a witch.
Yeah, no cross examination for this guy. Just no representation.
He's like, he has proof.
He has proof. He said he saw it.
He said
that's all the proof we need. Ban the witch.
Wasn't that what everyone was saying? Was that they saw something, and then he was like, well, that's proof. But that was perfect because it's exactly how much proof you needed back then.
Absolutely.
It's crazy, dude.
They were so scared of the devil back then.
They were so scared of everything. They were hanging anything that they thought could possibly be a conduit for the devil.
Yeah, so much. So many just unnecessary executions.
I just read something where like this town somewhere in like the 1600s, they hung a statue because they thought the statue had some. They hung a statue.
Well, they used to execute animals too. They used to hang
all the
animals
time,
because they thought animals were evil
all the time,
and had evil spirits.
Pigs. I can't imagine going to a pig hanging. It's fucking. What are we
Hang the pig.
Someone's got to be like, what are we doing? That pig fucked my wife. Like, what did he do?
No, I think your wife fucked the pig.
What did he do? Like, what did that pig do?
God, poor pig. He didn't deserve it.
No, but they do a very good job. But maybe my favorite scene is not a horror scene, but the scene when they go out to the woods and trip. That's what I want to see of the 1600s. People getting fucking weird, eating some weird berry that a forest witch gave you, and then getting high as hell. That's teens through every age, man.
I also loved the Solomon scene of the cave, and just the way it was designed gave you that very like devil demonic feel, like with the hat, and then kind of like their version of like the witch pentagram, being burnt up. I thought that looked really good.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty creepy too.
Yeah, that was a good scene. The scene in the forest when they're all dancing, that's when Sarah Fear, who's Dina's playing Sarah Fear, they get it on with those berries, man.
Apparently, it doesn't matter what life you're in. These two are lesbians in any life you throw them in.
And let me tell you, nothing will sour your town quicker than a pair of lesbians.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta burn them because they're witches.
You gotta burn them. Oh my God, when people are going around like the fruit is rotten and everything, and the lesbians are like, what did we do?
Everyone just blames it on the poor lesbians.
Oh yeah, how could you not blame ourselves too? No, it's horseshit. But
you know what I was thinking though, and this is just terrible of me, but they're in the forest and whatnot. It's 1666. You're covered in shit, and the first thing she does is she goes down on her on the rock, and I'm thinking, oh boy.
Oh, bro, but
when's the last time you guys have showered?
What else are you gonna do though? I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Even if it was a guy and a girl, sticking your dick, or you'd be like,
yeah.
So what are you gonna do, bro?
Goes down on
bro. When you're tripping on witch berries out in the middle of the forest, you're not thinking about wrapping your willy. You're thinking about business. Okay?
Very true.
But a pretty graphic sex scene.
Yeah, I would say so.
But well done. So that was a really cool scene when they're all going around the fucking bonfire and they're all dancing. And then one guy was like, "She lured me to the woods."
Okay, that shit was.
He was a total incel. Yeah, he was like, she didn't fuck me, so he made up some shit about her fighting the devil
because she was not interested.
That's all. It's as easy as it was, man.
It was.
Took nothing. But there's some brutal scenes in 1666. Not just horror scenes, but like the scene when she comes back and her mom just died, and the dad wouldn't even look at her. And blaming her for fucking everything. Oh my God, yeah, it was tough to be a lesbian back then.
It was. It really was. I mean, you got
to be gay all around. I think.
Yeah,
I think all around
her. Yeah.
It was tough to be anyone who was not a white man and owned some kind of land in that time.
That's very true.
It was tough for pigs.
It was tough for pigs.
Tough for
animals.
Goats. Tough for statues.
Yes.
They were getting hung and drowned. It was just a tough time, bro. That's why I hate that fucking period so much. But yeah, I thought the underground tunneling. I thought that scene when because we end up finding out because really you're only like 1666 for like the first two acts.
Yeah, half the film.
First two acts, maybe a little more in 1666, which was a surprise to me. A lot of it takes place in 1994, part two.
Part two, yeah. And I figured that would be the case to some extent because we didn't get a resolution at the end of 1994. So I figured, because she was still a zombie or whatever, I figured that we would get something. But yeah, I was a little shocked to see how quickly it jumped to 1994.
Well, to be honest, I thought it was going to be the end was going to be, we were going to do the whole 1666, and the very end was going to be her connecting the hand. Right. That's what they teased about. But then you're like,
that was a good twist and turn.
You pause the film, and there's like another 40 minutes left after that. Right. This film is a full 2 hours.
It is. But
a good 2 hours.
Absolutely.
The entire time. Yeah, it's so well done. But yeah, that scene I thought was going to be the end, but then we end up finding out big fucking revelation is Sheriff Good. He's not so good.
Well,
the devil.
We'll go to the first revelation first before we hit to Nick Good. But the first one was Solomon, which I did see coming. I figured he was the one who stole the witch's book. But then it's revealed because everyone's chasing down Sarah Fear. She hides in Solomon's house. She finds the tunnel.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then it's revealed
well, he's
that it was
Solomon Good.
Solomon
yeah,
Good.
he's the great-great-grandfather of Nick Good.
Yes.
But, yeah, I didn't know that he was going to be the bad guy because I didn't realize that he was so far out. He's in Sunnyvale.
Yeah, Sunnyvale. Or yeah.
He's so far that he's in whatever the unincorporated. None of them have names though. But that's how that's how you figure out of why Sunnyvale. Like nothing happens in Sunnyvale, I guess, to where like they have their first car wreck after. Like,
yeah, I know that was funny.
I mean, I'm guessing they don't even have hospitals there.
Probably
it's
not.
like no one gets sick.
No,
they just live to be 98. Yeah. But and then in fucking Shadyville, they're all dying of disease and shit. It's like a third world country. Yeah. But yeah, you realize that the whole reason is Samuel Good. Was his name, right? Solomon Good. I hate Solomon or Samuel. Those only two names back then.
Yeah. But unfortunately,
or Jebediah. But yeah, you figure out that he lost his wife and daughter, right?
Yep, they died.
And he stole the witch's book, which you barely even get any of the witch.
Yeah, no,
the
not
actual
at all.
witch.
Yeah,
which goes to show that she's probably just out there minding her own goddamn business.
Well,
doing her own
typically
shit.
what witches do, mind their own damn business.
It's true. But yeah, he stole a book and he has been cursing shady fucking Vale
for wealth and power.
For wealth and power every time he writes on the witching stone or whatever a name, that person. At first I think he thought that the devil was just going to kill that person.
Right. But that's not the case.
Every time they take a few people with them.
I'd say a few. They lit up the church building with dead children, which again, that's
brutal because you see your Dina's brother, who's
right.
like same kid playing the same character or whatever. He's got no eyes.
No, and what a good way that was revealed. I saw that coming. I knew it was going to happen, but when they opened the church door and they're all sitting on the pews.
Oh, yeah, because they're like, he took 12 kids in there. Mm-hmm. Who was allowing that man to wrangle 12 kids
it's the 1666.
You're right.
All he says is, hey, come on, we're going to do a Bible study. This is before the Catholic priest.
You don't even see your kids for months probably in 1666. They just go out to the woods, and you hope they'll come back someday.
And some of them don't.
Some of them come back with kids and husbands.
True.
Full lives. But yeah, that was a cool reveal that... That's how his whole family has been so prosperous. I guess I didn't really catch this. Maybe they did early on, but Nick Good, he has got a brother that's the mayor.
Yes.
I didn't catch that earlier on, but...
Yeah, I don't remember that in 94. But
maybe they just threw that in
I
just
think
to show
they did throw it in for like a second, saying that, the whole Good family, his brother's a mayor, but it wasn't something in the forefront of my mind.
Because really what happens is they bring these people back and they just kill everyone that they need to kill for this family to become prosperous.
Yes.
Like... They killed the old sheriff, so now Nick Good is the sheriff.
Yep.
So that's how they began. So every time they write, so every time you're like down on your luck, they just go down there and then chisel a little name, and then they become billionaires or whatever.
And again, we're going to jump around between the three films, but that, again, this is what made these films so good, because 1978 was my favorite one, and it made it even better knowing why Nick Good at the end of 1978 didn't say anything when she's like, hey, the curse is real.
Yeah.
And he just stares at her with this kind of blank look.
But
Come to find out, he was the person responsible for it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But he did... It did show that he did have some kind of conscience, because he did say...
because he did love her still.
But I mean, what, 40 kids died?
The guy's only got a conscience for the people he loves. He's biased.
I know, but he must have been thinking, like, I'm sure that's good enough for this wart in the ground. That's whatever this thing is. I'm sure it's good enough. I can save one. I can save one and they'll be okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that probably made his family millionaires.
Oh,
that many fucking kids dying.
A lot of kids died.
But yeah, I thought that was so fucking cool. And you're right. It makes all the first two films even better.
Yes.
Once you realize, because you start to get answers for all these things that you're having questions for in the first one. And it gets into like the town and the town history and why those things work the way they do.
Well, and think about how fucked up this was too, because in 1994, Nick Good slid that note into her door and was like, it's happening again.
Yeah.
He was fucking responsible for it.
Yeah.
He knew.
Oh, yeah.
He was still leading her on all those years later.
Absolutely, he's a piece of shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, and then we get into the 1994 part, which again I'm like, oh, where are they going to go with this? But they did such a fucking good job. It became like a Home Alone movie at the end, and that sometimes it doesn't work for me, but it worked perfectly for me when they're in the mall and they're setting traps or whatever. Well, it worked out perfectly. I loved it because I wanted to see more of the bad guys.
Yeah. And that was the big reveal, too, with Sarah Fier not being the evil witch, too, by the end of it.
And the hand.
Her hand.
You figure out the hand.
The Solomon.
She didn't cut the hand off.
No, it was stabbed off. And then it
that
just
was
fell
fucking
off.
brutal.
It was super brutal.
When he half stabs her, if you're going to lose a hand,
that's not the way
you don't want to go halvesies on it.
You just want it full blown off.
You got to snap it off
swing.
at that boy.
Yeah.
You got to snap the bone.
That was brutal, dude, because that thing was like hanging by a thread. Oh, my God. So painful.
It
And,
reminded me, I'm not bringing it up because you were in it, but it reminded me of Green Room. Remember in Green Room when he puts his hand in there and they tried cutting his hand off, and it's the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's
brutal.
right.
It's hanging off by it's what's his name? R.I.P.
Anton Yelchin.
Anton Yelchin,
Yelchin, yeah.
But it's the same thing where that gave me the same like, where it's like it's hanging on and like the hand's like still kind of moving.
Yeah.
Fucking gross. But yeah, you figure out that was a whole big lie. The town spread all these lies about Sarah Fier
For centuries.
Yeah, because you can't be like, not everyone can live with their great grandpa being a murderer.
Right, that's true.
People started hating on each other.
And Solomon covered it up really well too, because as she escapes, she's like, "I got the witch."
Yeah,
right out of the church building. Like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, we got a little stab in the stomach. Yeah. He followed her through the tunnel somehow, caught up with her.
Yeah, he's quick.
That was a cool scene too when he's reading the book, and the formation is but the tunnels underground were also being formed as he's doing the ring. I thought that was really cool, and it gave reason to why all these fucking tunnels are everywhere. But they reach right into hell, those fucking tunnels. But yeah, I like the scene when they go back to the mall, the old hanging tree. Love that tree. Yep. Yeah,
still around.
And they have to set up like booby traps because they're gonna trap. Well, they want to bring the sheriff there.
They want to bring Nick Good, yeah. And that was the thing, too. So they go to the forest, and Nick Good shows up, and they escape from him. And then they obviously, go over to Ziggy's house. And then after that, they're going to the mall. But I did like that, too, the continuity with the blood. Because then when they dump the blood on Nick Good, those fucking Satan things try to kill him.
And I love it. There's an awesome scene where they dump the blood on one of the monsters. Yeah. And it's like the biggest guy, a guy that you don't see, because each one they kind of introduce a new one. But it was a guy in the big leather mask.
Right, yep.
And they're all jumping on him and he's fucking throwing them around. It's fucking awesome. It's, cool. It's super cool. It's something that you didn't expect to see these guys turn on each other at one point. But it is super fucking cool. I like that entire scene at the end. And we get we do get some music in there at the end well. We get a little bit of the soundtrack. Yeah. But yeah, I like that. I like that end a lot. I thought it was perfectly. I thought they set it up perfectly. And the Hannah chick who was possessed, who became like a deadite or whatever. That's her, right?
Yeah.
This chick's gonna need a CT scan. She gets knocked out about 8 times in this film.
Yeah, she does. She's got a few concussions.
Oh, bro, her brain is fucking rattled.
It's rattled. It's fucking scrambled eggs.
She will have early onset Parkinson's from this, bro. She gets knocked out every goddamn scene.
I know. Well, Hannah knocks. Dina is her.
Yes,
the blonde chick. But yeah, Hannah knocks her out a few times, dude. It's not good.
It's not.
Or Sam, whatever, Sam.
Yeah, she is getting fucking routed. That brain's gotta be swollen. Do not let her go to sleep.
No.
She's
not gonna wake up.
Yeah. I don't think you can get hit in the head and be knocked out and not have a concussion. And she gets hit in the head and knocked out at least 4 times.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Even her past self in 1666 was getting knocked out.
She was. Common theme.
It was a common thing, but and that was another thing where I was wondering, why are they dragging this chick around? Because I didn't think you would have such a big part of it in this one, but she comes in and it's a big scene.
The only thing I didn't like, and this is such a small thing because all 3 of these films are awesome. Like, I recommend these to everyone. But however, I gotta point out when there's something that I didn't quite like. I don't like when characters suddenly aren't possessed for a second because of love. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
it's
yeah, that did happen.
that doesn't work
yeah.
for me. You know, and Dina was on top of Sam, and she's like, "No, don't kill me, don't kill me," you know, that kind of thing. And I'm like,
Well, man, if there's a Satan, there's got to be love.
I guess love is the one thing that
right,
conquers
right.
all.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a
That is true because Satan's full of hate.
yeah, right, whatever. I mean, yeah, either. I mean, if there's a giant fucking tumor in the ground pumping out serial killers too. Yeah, a little love.
It's true.
I mean, it conquers all.
Yes,
but yeah, I like the death of fucking Good because Good becomes the ultra villain in the end.
He does.
God damn, that guy's evil.
he won't go away either.
And at one point, they put the blood on him, and he's like, "No, you fucking idiots! If I die, you die." They don't realize that. That's one thing I did like is that continuity stays true to itself. It's like
Yes.
they go for the blood no matter what.
Yep.
Even if it's one of them, which you think they'll just be stabbing
Which
each other
again,
for fucking days
I know
because they can't
never
die.
die. Well, and that's the thing too. That was really, and I love the uniqueness of this film and the way that they came up with these ideas. I love the idea of putting the blood in squirt guns.
Yeah.
And then spraying people with that. That's such a cool,
makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like that 1994, like teenage, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
That's what
like
I'm saying.
late,
It was like a Home Alone-esque
Yeah.
with like the booby traps and how they were trapping each one of the monsters into the stores or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they were going to release them to kill Good, but
good.
doesn't work out like that.
Of course, it's never that simple.
No, it's never
Plan
that.
A is never Plan A.
But
It
you know what always
turns
works
into
out?
Plan B.
Stabbing the bad guy into the fucking eyeball.
That's true. 60% of the time, it works every time.
Every time. That guy's falling down.
Yeah.
He's fucking going down. The craziest part is it all ends. They fucking kill Good, and they end up I mean, I'm guessing they already knew that these tunnels were down there. But it's not that big of a deal.
No
No
one
one-
seems even to care.
No one is that shocked.
And they've been down there for about 500-600 years. So
A long time,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's a cool fucking scene at the end. They do like I kind of teased it. But at the end, they finally break the curse, right? So now Shady City or whatever it's called
Shady Side.
will be just as good as Sunnyvale or whatever. And like immediately, they're at
They
Hannah's,
walk out
they're
of
at
his
Hannah's house
house.
because
Yeah.
the guy, I guess he got to be dead.
No, it wasn't Hannah's house. It was Nick Good's house because Nick Good had that house in the tunnel. Remember they come out and his home is covered in goats.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Baphomet. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool too. But yeah, well, Hannah, she lived in Shadyville too, though, right? Or Sunnyvale,
yeah.
because she moved. That was the whole
Right,
thing in 1994. Yeah, but well, they walk out of his house, and just some guy. Well, at first he glares at him.
Yeah.
Fucking hobos and my
Shady
goddamn
side
homeless assholes. Yeah, all dirty and shit. Gets obliterated by
By
a
a
fucking
truck. Yeah, by a
dead
garbage truck.
immediately.
Oh, no. He's not walking that one off. He's dead.
So I'm sure they must have been in mass panic when it's like, fuck, we can die now.
Yeah, this is not what I signed up for here. And,
But it's cool, man, because it's left open ended. They do have a mid credit scene, but
Yes,
it's not,
I saw that.
But it's left open ended to where like those tunnels are still down there, so you could totally do a thing where it's like these fucking Sunnyvale people. They're like, oh, life sucks now. Let's find someone to start this shit back up.
That'd be pretty cool too if you had a whole town like be Satanists.
Yeah,
You know, and then you got to stop them again. So I'm kind of cool with the mid credit scene. I did see it.
yeah. Someone grabbed the book. Of
Yeah,
course,
because
someone's
they
gonna
were
grab
like
the book.
going
Yeah.
through the tunnels and stuff.
For some reason, the
camera.
cops did not grab the book. They left
I don't
it.
understand
It
why.
seems
of
like
all
it's
things,
evidence.
Grab the satanic book. I
Lock
mean,
it
come on.
up.
It's
it in a church.
always the cops not doing their due
Look, I'll
diligence.
come back for it. All right.
Bye.
It's not going anywhere. Let's take lunch.
Yeah, let's take a lunch. They even left all their fucking shit down there too. Like all the.
It was a crime scene. It was an
Yeah.
active crime scene. But you take the evidence
Incompetent.
from an active crime scene.
Yeah, that's
you don't
what you're
leave
supposed
it
to
down
do.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone has the book, so there's still Satanism, satanic panic to be had here.
What do you think about this? I wouldn't mind seeing like kind of that idea that we threw out there, but in a 10-episode TV series of the town
Ooh, that'd be cool.
becoming like Satanist and evil. and
These
then you're trying to
towns just
stop
going to war with each
Yeah.
other, good versus evil.
It'd be pretty cool. I'd actually like that because then you could do like the politics of the towns and then kind of the changing of it.
Yeah,
And, like,
it would be cool to see like the decay of Sunnyvale, because
Absolutely.
it's a flip. And you get the whole thing is like they were the shady, they're shady side of fucking devils.
Yes.
And it was the whole thing of like they were even their mascot, but that town was made to look like devils, to look like quote unquote witches or,
Right,
or
exactly.
outcasts. So now it is reversed. It would be cool to see like
It'd be cool to see a football game too and see one
both
of these
of them are
Sunnyvales.
fucking getting their own monsters going. They go to war with each other.
Yeah.
Start fighting each other. Yeah.
Or even just go to a high school football game and watch a Sunnyvale guy break his neck,
yeah.
get concussed.
Just nonstop tragedies happening. Like you can't walk down the block without getting hit by a fucking semi.
Or a bus.
Well, yeah, I think they have 400 years of bad karma coming.
It's going to add up.
I'm really surprised just a tornado doesn't come through and wipe that fucking town off the earth. You gotta be thinking God's got to be like, we got to take care of these fucking
he's
guys.
like, now it's time.
Send the floods.
Send him.
All right, I loved these. These were great, but I think they'd be so perfect if you're gonna like binge them during October.
Absolutely.
They're so perfect. I mean, you can watch them now, but I think they'll really fucking work for you in October.
And
I'll rewatch them in October.
We've talked about it so much on this podcast with Netflix not having good films that I really do feel that we got to give them this right here.
Let's give them the round. The
Honestly.
soft round of applause.
Because, all right. Turn it down. Because in all seriousness, like this is what is going to make Netflix a lot of money and a lot of people are going to want to tune in. And I love the idea of a trilogy in 3 weeks. I mean, the marketing behind Fear Street, the way they executed the films was the most impressive thing I've seen film-wise on Netflix, period. Like, they really knocked this out of the park.
My only complaint is they should have had, this is always Netflix's problem, but they need to have better fucking advertising for these things.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that they obviously care about and they put a ton of money in, but there's some things that they put a ton of money in and then they like have something in their head or something goes like, maybe this won't be very good. Maybe we shouldn't sink too much money. Because I didn't see that much stuff for Fear Street. We saw the trailer, but I mean, I don't feel like a lot of other people did.
No, in the trailers too, I feel like didn't give it justice. Because I remember doing the trailer reaction and being like, oh, okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I mean, these were really fucking good films.
Yeah, this should have been marketed everywhere. There should have been billboards
Yep.
for it. This should be like Netflix's big thing.
Absolutely.
Right now. Because it is the best thing film-wise.
They've done.
You know,
Especially as a trilogy.
absolutely. But yeah, I could not have been happier with that. I couldn't be more surprised either. Fucking awesome.
Yep. Alrighty, well, that is our review for Fear Street Part 3, 1666, and technically Fear Street 1994 Part 2. So, if you guys like what you're seeing here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.